Hey guys, it has been bronchitis is not fun. Um it is Monday, a little bit afternoon. Um Outlaw Nights is still going on Indiegogo. We are now 27% funded. And we have got about 19 days left. Around 5 p.m. today, that's going to switch over to 18 days left. So, if you have not yet, please click on the link in the description below. Check out Outlaw Nights. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. People over the age of 17. Don't worry, it's not porn. I can tell you that. It is not porn. But it's got strong language and violence. And for those of you who are very morally conscious about your stories, I can tell you this is not a very moral story. It's just it's more of kind of a window into certain aspects of human behavior. So we got that going. Good old space pirates and guns. Badass everything. I believe I already said it in my last video, but I'll say it again. For those of you who backed our secret perk, your posters have been shipped via UPS. So you should be getting those at your home by Thursday. If you do not receive your package by Thursday, please let me know ASAP via email. Or hell, you can just comment in one of my videos and I'll see it. I can promise you, because I get like maybe one comment in a video, and so I know when people comment on my videos. So yeah, good stuff with all that. Yeah. I've been kind of if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm very much a one-note pony when it comes to my entertainment. I like to focus on one thing at a time for the most part, although it's like I'll focus on something specifically TV-wise and something specifically video game-wise. So I've in terms of watching TV, I've really just been rewatching parts of Smallville, my favorite parts. And it's also kind of just, sometimes you just like to have something on as just background noise, and that's kind of what I've been doing a little bit. But I mean, it's one of those things where I still enjoy the show enough. And really, I guess it's rooted in the fact that it's like I wish people would kind of follow this pattern that Smallville kind of established when they're doing superhero stuff on TV shows. I feel like Smallville's a great benchmark. Although, I could do without the first few seasons of the whole thing centering around Lana and Clark's little love affair. It's that's the CW watermark, I call that. If you find a show that has a lot of melodrama going on when it comes to relationships, it's most likely being produced by the CW. And I've still been playing Final Fantasy X, and I've gotten very far in it. And I just, out of curiosity, I was just reading a bit more online, because I don't know if you guys recall this. Well, for those of you who aren't Final Fantasy fans, this probably won't interest you much, but I remembered, they came out with this Audioplay a few years back, and it centered on the Final Fantasy X universe, but it takes place about a year after the events of 10-2. And it undoes basically everything that was established in 10 and everything. It's narrated by a woman who is supposedly Aaron's child, but they never really confirm it for you. It's like she thinks she's Aaron's kid, and then Lulu kind of brings up some kind of point where, you know, there's doubt being thrown in the mix that she's actually Aaron's daughter, and they never really address it after that. It's like it's just left up in the air. I believe it's Yoshinori Kataz, I believe, who he's notorious for that in Final Fantasy games. That whole thing where they set up a really interesting side plot, but they leave it completely open-ended to where it's like, well, use your imagination. What do you think it is? That drives me insane. I know a lot of people like that form of storytelling. I know that there are a lot of people that think, you know, it's like, well, it's a great way to get the audience to interact, blah, blah, blah. That's great. That's all fine and dandy. It wreaks havoc on my obsessive compulsive needs with storytelling. Because I'm like, I want the author to tell me what the fuck's going to happen. I don't want you to sit there and go, what do you think's gonna happen? It's like, well, I could come up with a bunch of scenarios of what could possibly happen, but I don't want to know what could possibly happen. I want to know what's gonna happen. Like, you know, in real life, yeah, in real life you can't know the future, but that's the thing. In storytelling, you can. So, I mean, come on, like, give me some sort of a cap on this side plot. Give me something to, you know, just flesh it out. You know what I mean? And they made this crazy move where Titus and Yuna break up, which it's like, after everything those two went through, them breaking up is just the worst. That's like Ryan Johnson level subversion. You know, that's like, hey, I'm just being mean-spirited, you know, for the sake of being mean-spirited. Like, it just didn't work. And then you find out Sin comes back, which makes little to no sense in regards to what happens at the end of Final Fantasy X. Sin coming back makes no damn sense whatsoever. And they don't explain it. And they just say, Sin's come back. Yuna gives a big speech about Sin coming back. And then that's it. Nothing gets solved. You just learn that they come up with a plan to fight Sin. You don't know what the plan is. You don't know how it's going to turn out. We don't have a confrontation with Sin. It's just this open-ended, well, what do you think's how it's going to end? So really, it could be that Sin completely wipes out Spira, or they find some magic, pull it out of their ass way to kill it. Either way, bullshit. Bubkus. I don't like it. I hate that shit. Of course, I hated 10 too. But at least with 10-2, there were some parts in that game that I could get behind. With this little audio play, there's really not much of anything. I liked the idea of Aaron having a kid. I hate letting the plot line fall flat. All in all, yeah, that was some of Enix's more disgusting behavior to me, was that little audio play. You know, we don't need to go back and edit perfection. You know, you got it right the first time. You don't need to rock the boat. You got it right. So anyway, that's kind of my little spiel for today. If you like anything I have to say, go ahead, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and preach the word of Outlaw Nights to the world. Let everyone know, from the east to the west. Let the world know that they need Outlaw Nights. Thank you so much for joining me again, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.